Good afternoon, Cigar Review 86. I've got the Alec Mundial. It's a 4.25 inch, 48 ring gauge, Little Perfecto, made in Honduras. It got some pretty mixed reviews. Now, this is the kind of shorty one. The larger size one actually got panned by some other reviewers that I was reading, but Cigar Aficionado in 2014 gave it a number 16 rating. So it does seem like there's kind of a mixed bag of feelings on this particular cigar. This one is okay. So if I'm rating, as I always do on draw, burn, and taste, great draw. Although initially with the Perfecto, it was very hard to light. I did use a single lighter because it tapered so much with the triple lighter, I really would have messed up probably my hands. But it is drawing really well. It's burning very evenly. The taste is kind of interesting. I get a little bit of almost butter, maybe some nuts, some pepper, almost a cuminy-like taste. There's not a lot going on. It's not an overly complex cigar. It's certainly not bad. I would kind of give it a neutral rating. I do want to address something, though, that came up in review number 83. Specifically in the comments of review number 83, the Alec Bradley Max, which is what made me want to smoke another one for this video. In that video, I trashed the cigar. I said I'd had two of them, that it wasn't really that good. This is always keeping in mind that, I haven't had generally 20 or 30 or 100 or whatever of these cigars. I've had two. And you can occasionally get outliers that are just bad, right? The Andalusian Bull by La Flor Dominicana is my favorite cigar of all time. And I smoked one recently that just wasn't that good. They are hand-rolled products of leaves, right? Leaves are not consistent. They're not the same. If I went and pulled leaves off this tree, some of them are going to be different from the other leaves. They just are. So it doesn't matter who you are. You're occasionally going to have cigars that just don't turn out well. So when I do say don't buy a cigar, it is always with a caveat that it is based on my review, generally, unless otherwise specified, of one or two cigars. Now, I can tell you with absolute certainty, like the Gurkha Sherpa Orange, I've smoked 20 of them and they're all bad. They're just absolute trash. You should not buy that cigar. Again, that's just my own feeling. Maybe you really like that one. But especially for something like the Alec Bradley Max, right? There's so many people that have reviewed it positively that I know that there is a good chance that I just got one or got two that were rolled really, really tight. So with this one, right, this little Mundial, I don't think it's great. I get some kind of harsh notes, especially the price. I'd actually probably go with a neutral or probably even a don't buy rating on it, simply because I think you could do so much better. Now, I will be trying to review, I think, a full-size one of these coming up probably in the next couple weeks. But for this one currently, I would go with a neutral or probably honestly don't buy rating again, as I said, for Cigar Review 86. It was the user Pause and Smoke Rory that pointed that out to me, that, hey Matt, you're kind of making some pretty harsh recommendations not to buy this cigar, and you're really doing it based off of one or two cigars. And he made it for a point, and I do think that going forward, whenever I say don't buy a cigar, I am going to caveat it again with, I'm just smoking this one. It's a natural product. There is variation. And honestly, I really don't wish that I could smoke 20 of all of them to establish a baseline, because I would get bored, right? If my job was to rank just 5 cigars in the world, I probably would smoke 20 of each to try to do it as fairly as possible. But considering I'm just, a normal guy that likes smoking cigars, I do like getting the variety, and that's why, I try to smoke a different cigar on each review that I do. Outside of reviewing cigars, let's say I'm going to a friend's house. My dog apparently must get in the house. Let's say I'm going to a friend's house and I'm not going to do a review. Then I'll smoke a cigar I've smoked a million times. My go-to, by the way, that I have a million of in my humidor, is actually the Punch Diablo. I think it's a really solid cigar. I bought a lot of them, and that's really my go-to. But I've kind of gone off track. Cigar review 86 was the Alec Bradley Mundial, and this is that shorty size, that little perfecto. And I'm going to go, honestly, with the Don't Buy Ready. Again, just based off this one cigar that I had, not making any value judgments about the brand or the cigar as a whole. Please leave me your comments, leave me your feedback, and as always, thank you so much for watching.